Hello, my name is Nkata Matilda Fatana, and this is my reflection on a lesson that I taught the grade 11 learners on analyzing advertisements. The purpose of the lesson was actually for the learners to identify and be able to explain how advertisements actually use visuals and persuasive language in trying to convince people into buying a certain product. So, for this lesson, learners were focused on identifying the product that was being advertised. They had to spot the slogan and also identify the target audience and also identify the persuasive techniques that were used in the advert. And coming to the lesson overview, the lesson had three objectives. Number one was for the learners to identify all the key elements used in the advert. Number two of the objective was for them to explain how the visuals and the persuasive language are used in the advert. Number three of the objective was for them to evaluate the effectiveness of the advertisement in trying to attract the targeted audience. And all of these objectives were based on Bloom's taxonomy, meaning that they actually moved from lower order to higher order thinking skills. The first activity that we did was an introduction activity. In this activity, I displayed the energy drink advertisement image on the smartboard for the learners to observe and answer guided questions on what they saw. This helped them to connect the lesson to advertisement, um, um, usually to the advertisements that they see in their everyday lives, such as when they are on their social platforms and when they go to the malls, they see posters with advertisements. When they are in the highways, they would see these billboards put on very busy highways. When they're in town on very high buildings, there are usually billboards displayed there. And what do we normally see? Advertisements. So that was the first activity that we did. The second activity was the development activity. In the development phase, I used the PowerPoint presentation. Learners had to spot once again the product that was being advertised, the slogan. They had to identify the target audience, and I also facilitated the discussions, and they wrote some of the activities in their exercise books. This helped them develop a deeper understanding on the concept, and it also gave me a platform to help them step by step in comprehension. Then we came to the third activity, which was the consolidation activity. The consolidation activity, I used the Kahoot quiz. This was mainly meant to help them revise the content. They mainly focused on the key concepts of the advertisement. This was very interactive and helped me quickly to assess them and their understanding, and also to provide an immediate feedback on how well they understand the topic. Now, the ICT tools that were used for this lesson were the image for the advertisement, the PowerPoint presentation, and a Kahoot quiz. It made the lesson more visual and more interactive. And according to the SAMR model, the advertisement image kind of like replaces the it it replaces the traditional mm, textbook examples, and also represents the augmentation. And the PowerPoint presentation enhances the learning through visual support, while the Kahoot quiz represents the modification, because learners get to interact with the content on a digital space and in a game-based format. So as a student teacher, I guided the lesson. I guided the learners through questions and giving them explanations. I allowed them to play around with their ideas, give suggestions. So the lesson was also learner centered, and they observed, they participated in discussions, they also did activities in their exercise books. The lesson was effective because learners were engaged and they related the content in their real life advertisements. The challenge was time, like managing time was a bit of a challenge, but in future I hope to include more structured group activities to allow pacing. And for different abilities, different learning abilities, we used visual aids, we used discussions, and we used interactive activities. Thank you.